Of all the things to be mad about here on the Locked On Kings podcast, I didn't expect the Sacramento Kings not participating in the California Classic to be one of them. But here we are. Not only are the Kings out of the tournament, the city of Sacramento is once again not hosting the event that they created. I can't tell if this is a slap in the face to the city of Sacramento, another bad decision by the Sacramento Kings, all of the above. But I'm going to rant about it right here on Locked On Kings.
You are Locked On Kings, your daily Sacramento Kings podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for another episode of Locked On Kings.
Hello and welcome into Locked On Kings, your podcast hub for Sacramento Kings coverage all off-season long. My name is Matt George. I have the privilege of being your host here. I'm a Sacramento sports anchor and reporter for ABC 10 News. In the grand scheme of things, the Sacramento Kings not playing in what's ultimately a meaningless 2-day, 3-day little pre-summer league tournament. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But to add it on to as just a sprinkle or cherry on top of the piece of you-know-what Sunday that the Sacramento Kings and really Kings fans have been force-fed over the last handful of months. I mean, it's fitting. And yes, it's infuriating. Like, I saw the announcement. I saw the press release from the Golden State Warriors, who are fully taking over and hosting the California Classic this year. And it just made me sick. The Cali Classic will be held in the Chase Center on July 5th, July 6th, and July 8th, and will feature the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, the Golden State Warriors, and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Sacramento Kings, who not only have participated in every single year of the event's existence, Sacramento created the freaking event. The Golden One Center hosted the event, and the event has never been more popular and more heavily attended than when it was here in Sacramento. I don't know if it's the organization's choice. I don't know if the Sacramento Kings are looking around going, hey, the temperature for the fan base here in Sacramento, it's not really great right now. Fans are angry. Fans are upset. Fans are unhappy with how things are going with the Kings. We do not have a first-round draft pick as of now to be ultimately excited about. And sure, the Stockton Kings down the road were G League champions, but maybe we don't expect too many of the players on that roster to actually be part of our Summer League roster. Maybe this is the Sacramento Kings willingly bowing out, saying it's just not right for us this year. We don't need the distractions. We don't want this. We don't want that. We're going to focus on building ourselves going forward and handling things traditionally. And that starts with a normal Summer League in Las Vegas, and that alone. Why? We're going to get into later in the podcast, like why the Sacramento Kings would not want to participate, or at least try and wrap our brain around why the Sacramento Kings would not want to participate. But the fact that Sacramento is not involved in this at all, that whether it's the Kings or the NBA has allowed this, what's supposed to be a summer basketball festival, essentially, to be passed off not only to the NorCal rival Golden State Warriors. They don't care about Summer League basketball in the Bay because they care about postseason basketball. And once again, just like the last time this event was completely held in the Bay, there's going to be a day where fans can't even attend. July 8th, games will be available via broadcast only. Those are the final games of the tournament, essentially the championship rounds of the tournament, and fans can't even go. What the heck is the point of hosting an event like this and fans are unable to attend. You put this in the center of a city that has a million other things to do. It's extremely difficult as it is to get crowds in that building during very specific times. And now you want to put afternoon basketball in the middle of a bay right down the street from the San Francisco Giants, who might be even playing a home game during that time. Let's look this up. Honestly, I'm looking this up in real time on the podcast because I'm very interested to see if the San Francisco Giants are playing a home game at any point during the California Classic. Because already, even on the games that fans can attend, the attendance is going to be bad. We've seen it before. And that's not a shot at Golden State Warrior fans. They don't care. I don't blame them. This event was special in Sacramento because it was like a festival in Sacramento. Let's see. On July 5th and July 5th and July 6th, the Giants will actually be here in Sacramento, believe it or not, taking on the A's. But on July 8th, the day that fans cannot attend and the games will only be televised, the San Francisco Giants will be playing at home against the Philadelphia Phillies. What do you think people are going to be paying attention to in the Bay? The final round of the California Classic or the Giants game that's literally right down the street? It's ridiculous. And I'm mad for Sacramento. I'm not mad for the Kings. Who cares? Like, if the NBA strong-armed them out of this, which I have a hard time believing the NBA said, yeah, Kings, we don't want you in it this year. Doesn't make any sense. I don't think the NBA did this. I think this was somehow a Sacramento Kings decision. Like, I think the Kings pulled themselves out of this tournament. It's the only thing that makes sense. And again, we'll try and break down why they made that decision or feel that way later on, I guess. But I'm mad for Sacramento because this should be our event, right? I'm mad for Sacramento because for a lot of people, a lot of families, this is the affordable way to go and watch NBA caliber basketball. And I put caliber, and you have to put an asterisk next to it because we know it's the California Classic. It's Summer League. We know the quality of basketball is significantly lower than the NBA. We don't need to, that doesn't need to be hashed out. But I know it's incredibly affordable for a family of 4 or more people to actually be able to go and spend a day watching basketball with the festivities that they used to have outside, whether it was an outdoor concert or kind of the carnival atmosphere. It was a day. It was an event. It was something fun to do in Sacramento. And maybe because it conflicts with the A's and Giants in Sutter Health Park, maybe that's a reason why they didn't want to do it. But I'm sorry, Sutter Health Park holds 12,000 people. That's not the entire city going, we don't care about the California Classic because the Giants are in town. And everybody knows that ballpark is going to be full of Giants fans anyway. Right? Like, Sacramentans, that event is for them, especially Sacramento fans who have been straight up priced out by their own franchise. I've talked to season ticket holders. I know how expensive tickets are for next season when the team is in a bleak state right now. Right? I know how expensive it is to try and buy single game tickets just for a couple of people, let alone a family of 4, not to mention parking and food at the arena. Everything in California is expensive, of course. Here is something that's actually somewhat affordable and fun to do during the summer. And also, selfishly, it gives me something to do. It gives you something to do. Right? The Sacramento Kings stopped playing basketball in April. They don't play again until October for real. So having June, July, this time where there's at least some sort of NBA caliber basketball here in Sacramento, especially with the Golden State Valkyries now playing in the Chase Center. What the heck do you need the California Classic for? You got the Valkyries. You're good. I think it's dumb by the NBA. I think it's dumb by Sacramento to not be involved. And I feel for fans, man. I feel for this city. Whether it's not some marquee money-making event that draws people from all over the state, all over the country to attend. You're not seeing many Miami Heat fans or San Antonio Spurs fans or whatever obscure non-California team participating in the tournament. you're not seeing fans fly out to watch their team. Maybe a handful of absolutely psychotic diehards who have nothing better to do. But this event is for this city, founded by this city, created by this city. And not only do we not get to host the event, which the NBA has done this once before, and it was not successful in the Chase Center. Again, not a shot at Warriors fans, not a shot at the Bay. I know they got bigger and better things to care about. Like, it was not successful there once. And then you also tried last year the split of having some games in Sacramento and some games in Chase Center, and the Kings had a team participating in both. And once again, Sacramento's was better than the Chase Centers. I can attest to that. And then to have the Kings not even participating in it altogether themselves, I just think it's dumb. It's dumb by the league. It's dumb by the Kings. And it's disappointing for the city. Something that we have to look forward to, something that's kind of ours in many ways to look forward to, or at least we have a piece of it. It's moving on without us, right? The Sacramento Kings no longer participating in the postseason, now no longer participating in the California Classic Summer League tournament that they created. One thing is a lot more important than the other. Right, I would much rather the Kings be in the playoffs than in the California Classic. But in the case of the Warriors and soon to be the Spurs and the Miami Heat, like, these are teams that can do both. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like it. It just feels dumb. It feels unnecessary. It feels somehow insulting, even if it was the Sacramento Kings doing it to themselves. I hate it. But I guess we'll try and find out why the Kings would not want to participate and break down whether or not those make any sense. That's still coming here on the Locked On Kings podcast. Before that, though, today's episode of Locked On Kings is brought to you by Wayfair. The days are getting longer and the weather is warming up. In Sacramento, it's going to be 105 on Friday. Yikes. People are spending more time outside. Maybe not during the 105 time, but right now it's beautiful, which means it's the perfect time to refresh your outdoor space. Whether you're working with a big backyard or just a small balcony, Wayfair has everything that you need to make it feel more like you. Wayfair's massive selection of outdoor essentials makes it easy to transform any space into your ideal summer setup. From comfy conversation sets to sleek dining tables and even outdoor decor, they've got it all, and at prices that fit your budget. You can get a brand new patio dining set and some string lights to hang over the top from Wayfair to help extend your outdoor space. They have a mix of styles, super easy to find pieces that match your vibe without you spending a fortune. Delivery is free and also hassle-free, even for the massive stuff. And whether you're entertaining guests or just relaxing solo, Wayfair will help you unwind. Shop a huge selection outdoor furniture online this summer. Get outside with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. So why the heck would the Sacramento Kings not want to, forget host the California Classic, not want to participate in the California Classic? Like, what is the harm of if the NBA really wanted this event at Chase Center again, which again, I don't know why they would. Like, it's a bigger city. There's more people around, but I think the NBA recognizes what the event is. It's like putting a fair in, I don't know what, like like putting a fair or a smaller event or a carnival. Or maybe put it this way. It's like putting a farmer's market in a massive convention center, right? It's just not the place for it. Not to say that the Chase Center is nicer than the Golden One Center. That's not the case at all. In fact, many of you know how much I vastly prefer the Golden One Center. Chase Center is very nice. Golden One Center is way better. Of course, I'm biased, but it's just a way, way better building, especially for a event like the California Classic. but it's putting an event like this in the middle of a city that, again, has a million things to do. It's like, in some ways, it's like having the Summer League in Las Vegas. Now, the Summer League is different because it's the entire league, right? And it becomes like everybody flies in. You have a lot of basketball greats that just spend their time in Vegas. So it becomes an event more because of the city. But in reality, like, Summer League basketball is not a big enough event for Vegas. It's not. But Vegas makes the event in a lot of ways. The Bay is not great enough to make the California Classic. My point is, the Bay is too big to care about the California Classic beyond some general excitement. And this is not, let me reiterate for the upteenth time, this is not me firing shots at the Bay or Bay Area fans, because yes, there are going to be some people that attend and some people that are excited to watch a little Summer League basketball in the Chase Center. But we've seen this before. We've seen it twice. This will be the third year that California Classic games are being held at the Chase Center. And the attendance is not good. For the second year, they're going to have a day where you can't even attend for some reason. It's silly. It's ridiculous. But again, why wouldn't the Sacramento Kings want to be a part of it? What is it about the California Classic that is potentially bad for the Kings or not worth it for them? Is it the cost of participating? Are the Kings going a cheap route? I don't know. That doesn't really make sense. Maybe the Kings don't want to host it, and Vivek in Sacramento doesn't want to host it because what it costs. I don't know. Maybe that's a reason. There's money's involved in everything, and financially motivates everything. But it doesn't make any sense to me for an organization who is trying to return themselves to a place of significance, trying to regain momentum, trying to, in many ways, repair their image as an organization, trying to not necessarily start fresh, because they don't have a first-round draft pick at this point, and they have a roster that is very veteran-heavy with a seemingly clear desire to still be competitive and try and win right away. Whether or not that's the right decision or not, that's the position that they've kind of forced themselves into. So I get that the California Classic doesn't lend a hand, and Summer League basketball doesn't really lend a hand to any of that. But what is the harm in not only showcasing yourself on a somewhat national stage, because NBA TV broadcasts these games and people who are starved for basketball do watch and will watch before the actual Summer League starts? What is the harm in giving more opportunity to some of your younger players, your prospects? Like, you don't think Isaac Jones could benefit from more time on the floor, especially when he's going to be looked at as one of the top guys, if not the guy on that roster? Or like, I think these are big games for Isaac Jones. Look how important they were to the development of Keon Ellis. I'd say Keegan Murray too. Keegan dropped like 40 in one of them when it was here in Sacramento a couple of years ago. Ultimately, he didn't need to play in it. I mean, think back to the first ever California Classic game when De'Aaron Fox played and Harry Giles and Marvin Bagley dunked all over Mo Wagner. Like, that was fun. That was an event. It builds excitement for your organization. It builds excitement for your team. Why would you not want to participate in that? And if the Sacramento Kings do something that I do think is very possible, I think it's very feasible for the Kings to potentially trade their way into the first round on draft night. I think there's a good chance of that happening. I wouldn't call it a likelihood unless Scott Perry sees and finds a prospect that he's really infatuated with, but there's a very good chance. Like, the Kings, not only do they need young talent right now, they need affordable talent, and drafting a player late in the first round or in the late teens or early 20s gets you a really, really good contract under team control for a while. Let's say the Kings do move up in the draft. Let's say the Kings do move into the first round, take a prospect that the fan base starts to get a little excited about. Hey, guess what? Now you can't watch him play even more games because you willingly decided to not participate in the California Classic. And if it's about like this concept of just focus on Las Vegas Summer League doesn't make any sense. Why? You don't want any tune-up games before the Las Vegas Summer League, as if that really matters. I mean, the Kings are former Summer League champions. Actually, aren't they two-time Summer League champions? Like, cool. It's fun. It's fun to say. Doesn't mean anything. So you not participating in the California Classic makes you more likely to win a Summer League championship or be more prepared for a Summer League championship. It just it seems to me that the decision makers in Sacramento probably just don't see the California Classic as valuable, I guess, this year. And I don't get why. Again, I can't wrap my brain around the idea that the NBA doesn't want the Kings in there. That the NBA told the Kings, no, you know what? You're out this year because we'd rather have the Spurs or the Warriors, the Spurs or the Heat in there. Now, to be fair, the Heat have been in every single year. So have the Lakers and the Warriors. And so have the Kings. Like, that's been the four. And in the past, you've had, 6 teams? Maybe you didn't want to do 5, so someone had to go. But again, you're booting the team that founded the event. I don't know if this is happening. I'm trying to connect the dots because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense for why the Kings would not want to participate in it, why the NBA would not want the Kings in it, and why the entire freaking thing is going to Golden State. I mean, it would make sense if the Kings withdrew themselves from it, said, we don't want to play in it, then the NBA goes, okay, well, then you're not hosting it. We want the home team of the home hosting city to partake in it. So maybe the Kings waived their right to host it and their desire to host it as soon as they said they don't want to participate in it. But again, I don't know why the Kings would want to do that other than to save money to put the event on or to avoid any kind of embarrassment. Are they afraid that Kings fans would refuse to show up or would not attend out of protest of the state of the organization, the decisions being made? I don't think that sounds like Sacramento at all. People might be upset. Some people might not go, but there's going to be plenty of people who would still go, including people who are pissed off with how the organization is being run or where the Sacramento Kings are at as a franchise. You think that after going through nearly 2 decades of this nonsense, that this would be what would break the entire city and this would be what would stop them from attending again the event that feels like ours? Whatever. Doesn't make sense. Very, very dumb. Today's podcast, by the way, was supposed to be a conversation with Doug Branson of the Locked On Hornets. In fact, I'm still doing that interview here in about 30 minutes. Talking to Doug about the possibility of a trade for LaMelo Ball and whether or not the Sacramento Kings could be interested and could potentially kill 2 birds with 1 stone by going out and finding kind of a young centerpiece for their franchise, but also someone who has star power that can help them potentially win right away. I'm still recording that. It's still happening. That's going to be on tomorrow's podcast. Again, a conversation with Doug Branson from Locked On Hornets about a potential LaMelo Ball trade, what that would look like, what it would take to potentially get the deal done. I'll also hash out why the Kings would consider this, if anything. Just a fun little another hypothetical for the Kings to consider if they want to try and be aggressive in the trade market this offseason. So stay tuned for that. Again, that was supposed to be the plan today, but then this California Classic news dropped this morning and it just made me angry. Made me sad for this city. Add it to the list. Just add it to the list of things going on. I'm perusing social media and I just Kings are a joke of a franchise. What the heck is Sacramento doing? I don't know. Again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal because the event is not tremendously massive, but it's ours. Like it's been ours. And it's something for at least somewhat to look forward to. And now I guess we're all just going to either have to have the money in our pockets to be able to go to Vegas and spend a week or weekend watching Sacramento Kings basketball in Vegas, which is ridiculously, stupidly expensive. Or we just don't get to watch Summer League basketball now and have to wait for watching basketball live until October. And families who really can't afford to go to NBA games don't get the opportunity to go to the California Classic, which is affordable, unless they want to drive all the way down to the Bay, which, as you know, whether it's tolls to cross the bridge or parking outside of the Chase Center or whatever, is extremely expensive, difficult, and not very fun to do. That commute, not very fun to do. I don't get it. I'm not mad about it as mad as I am about trading De'Aaron Fox or firing Mike Brown or anything about that. So I don't know how many times it's going to be brought up here on this podcast going forward, but it is something to, I think it is something worth talking about. Oh, by the way, too, Tyrese Halliburton is 1 win away from the NBA Finals. I'm letting you know, I'm warning you right now, if the Pacers, maybe at this point, when the Pacers make the NBA Finals, we have to have a conversation about Tyrese Halliburton, including me eating crow for the things that I've said about that Tyrese Halliburton trade. It's just the reality of we have to look at this organization and the retrospect of the decisions that they've made and how it's continued to just put themselves in this state of NBA purgatory and ineptitude. So that's coming as well. But stay tuned. Tomorrow, Locked On Kings will team up with the Locked On Hornets podcast and talk about a potential LaMelo Ball to Sacramento trade. Now I want to hear from you. Your thoughts on the California Classic not being in Sacramento. Hit me up. Let me know. Tell me what you think. Maybe you're like, Matt, this is stupid. I don't care. Cool. maybe that's how we'll all feel when this actual tournament rolls around. But for someone who really enjoys the California Classic, someone who looks forward to my family going to the California Classic, I do care. And it's a bummer that what Sacramento created is no longer Sacramento's, at least not for this year. All right, share with me your thoughts. Appreciate your support as always. Can't wait to have you join me on the next episode of the Locked On Kings podcast. Until then, my name is Matt George. You've been listening to Locked On Kings, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.